Hello, Helena. It's Emily McVeigh, Executive Director of the United Way of the Lewis and Clark area. We're here today with Rocky Mountain Development Council's RSVP program. I have several guests here with me today, so let's get started and we'll find all about what is RSVP.
So RSVP stands for the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, and we're one of 3 programs of AmeriCorps seniors. And so this year we're actually celebrating our 50th anniversary nationwide, and we are sponsored by Rocky Mountain Development Council, and we've been there since 1973. So RSVP, what we do, we match men and women who are 55 years of age or older to volunteer opportunities. And our goal is to support other nonprofits and special projects in our community.
Great.
So these volunteers here have been with us for many years and just doing a variety of different things. Our goal is to support aging in place and aging well.
Great. So why should people volunteer for RSVP? That's open to anybody. And what are some of the benefits you get from volunteering?
Yeah, Jenny?
I feel volunteering it gives you a very warm feeling to know that you're giving back to your community. And as an older person, it's sometimes very hard to go out, and ump a baseball game or be a referee at a football game, whereas you can go and help kids get their way into that game. It's something you are able to do and makes you feel more productive versus sitting down and becoming really, really old very fast.
That's good.
It's very rewarding to be able to give back to the community. It's and there's wonderful people that you get to meet.
Yeah, studies have shown also that it helps the volunteer as much as it does the people they're helping. Their studies show that AmeriCorps senior volunteers have less anxiety, less social isolation, obviously because you're out doing things, less depression. So they're making a difference in other people's lives as well as their own.
All right. Why don't you guys tell us how you got involved in volunteering, why you got involved, what kinds of things do you do? Do you have an assignment, or do you pick different things, or how does that work?
I volunteer a lot for Helena Food Share, and I started volunteering once I retired because my husband was real involved in volunteering for many different organizations, and I joined him.
So Nola is an amazing artist, as well as her husband Bob, and recently they did an art show at Rocky Mountain Development Council to benefit Helena Food Share. So do you want to tell them a little bit about that?
During the pandemic, we both just started creating at home. I mean, you're stuck at home, so we just made good use of our time, and we had so much artwork there that we needed to sell it, and we decided to just give the proceeds to Helena Food Share.
Great.
Yeah, so they donated 90% of the proceeds to Helena Food Share.
We gave them $1,900.
That's great.
Very nice.
Nice.
Cleaned out my studio so I could start painting again.
There you go.
Start all over.
Yes.
So as part of our Aging in Place and Aging Well, we have exercise classes that RSVP volunteers lead. And so Jenny and Fred both have their own, so you can talk to them about what you do at Rocky.
I am an instructor for the former arthritis exercise group. We were originally aligned with the National Arthritis Foundation and followed all their guidelines. And I don't know, about 4 years ago, they were in difficulty, and so they left the states running their own foundations. And we just couldn't get in line with that. So we've kept basically the same standards, but we have also added other fitness from physical therapy classes that people have been in and mentioned this really helped. And so we've added to our exercise base. I fell into instructing the class. The instructor before me, in fact, Cindy Forbes, who it was well known for coming in and starting programs like this in our community, was our instructor, and she became ill, and there just happened to be a class at the hospital, which basically I got suckered into.
So Jenny's class is one of the most popular classes at the senior center. She does it Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays and Fridays at the senior center, and it's always packed.
So, for some Mondays, Mondays are hard. Mondays can be really hard.
And Fred,
I'm the Wednesday boy.
yeah, he's a Wednesday boy. So
Yeah, I worked for Rocky for several years as a bus driver to pick up seniors and bring them in for different activities, with lunch or pinochle or exercise or whatever. And I retired about 4 years ago. And then I started coming back so I could check on people I used to work with. And Samara came up with a pretty good idea about having a walking group. So on Wednesdays, and I didn't name them, but it's called walkie-talkies. So some of them do more talkie than walkie, but that's all right. That's the fun of it. You can go at your own pace, do what you like, show up or not, but we always have a good time every Wednesday.
And do you do that at Centennial Park?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen that on Facebook.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and we'll be going to different venues as the weather gets more predictable and
Sure.
warms up.
So June will be at Spring Meadow.
Spring Meadow, yeah.
And then July, 10 Mile Creek. Yeah. And then
Just
we'll
on the
go,
other side of Spring Meadow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
we'll go back to Centennial because it's a great walking track.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And Nola helps me a lot with special projects. She's made hundreds and hundreds of phone calls
yes.
these last few years for Helena Food Share. And she's a person that if I have something special coming up or when I call her up and if she's free, she's always willing to jump in and help, and I really appreciate her. So,
I like making the phone calls.
good.
That's good. We need
That's
people
what
like
I
that for sure. So where does the Tri-County RSVP serve? What?
So we are at the Helena Senior Center, and people can serve at the front desk, greeting and taking money for lunch. We have exercise instructors. We have a Be Well clinic every Thursday that people can come up and get a caramel roll at the senior center and then go get
And they are the best.
Yeah, get their blood pressure and taken and other health issues. We have like recipes and fun things for people to pick up weekly. And we are also at Meals on Wheels. So you can either deliver the meals or you can help package them in the morning. We help at Food Share, and we're doing the stocking, distribution, phone calls. And we also have special projects that we always have a special project for 9/11 Day of Remembrance and the MLK Junior Day. We try to do a community get-together, something for those. And we also do special projects like the art show. And next week we're having rock painting. So if you want to come up to Rocky and rock paint. We are starting a new program called the Rocky Go-Getters, which will be a companion type program where there's been so much social isolation for seniors especially. So we're going to match up a volunteer to a homebound senior and just to maybe go out for coffee once a week or go to the grocery store, just come over and visit. And Jenny is also a senior companion, which is one of our other AmeriCorps senior programs. So she's a double duty volunteer.
I just celebrated my 11th anniversary.
Yes.
Yep.
Great.
Wow.
So how does one get involved with the RSVP program?
So you can just call up Rocky Mountain Development Council and ask for the RSVP program, and we never turn down a volunteer. We'll find a special niche just for you. We look at your preferences and what you like to do, and if you want to learn a new skill, we'll get you the right placement.
And what's the age criteria for that?
Oh, you have to be 55 years or older.
Okay. And no income criteria or anything
Nope.
like that?
Nope.
Just the age?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What have we missed? What else do we need to know about RSVP? Or what, do you guys have a story to share about something really meaningful to you? We have a couple minutes to share some stories.
I think mine would be a couple that used to come to our class, and they were very involved with it. Eventually it became impossible for them to keep coming, but they've kept in touch with the phone and see how people are doing. And I think because they had that background, that they knew the people, they felt free to be able to say, well, how's so-and-so? Whereas if they hadn't gotten out and been about, they wouldn't have a connection to ask how somebody else. Sometimes that's what you need to do, is ask how somebody else is doing, to make things in your perspective of how you are doing. Sometimes you're doing a lot better, you know, and sometimes you need to call their families and tell them they're sorry. But you're involved, you're still involved. And I think through the exercise, you know, we do a lot of laughing, and they make fun of my music choices.
Her jokes.
Yeah, Jenny's jokes. I mean,
I have started writing a potato book joke, and until one of my people came up and gave me a book that had already been written about potato jokes.
Oh.
Although I feel my jokes are much better. But
there is
you know,
that connection.
no, there's a connection. You know,
Like you
we
said, there's a niche for everything.
Yeah.
We still have people. One of our ladies has moved to Lewistown and lives, and she is still in connection with some of our people, and she asks how people are doing. You know, the connection is there because you spent time together. You know, you basically worked together. You've laughed at each other. You know, these things happen in an exercise group, and so we have really. I think the bond is very, very well set.
Yeah.
I have talked to many of the seniors, making phone calls, reminding them that senior commodities pickup is coming up. And a lot of them just appreciate the call just to chat. So I've exchanged recipes with some, and well, we just have some nice chats.
That's, and with volunteering with Meals on Wheels too, that's sometimes the only person they see all day, and so just that connection. So Rocky does a lot of meaningful volunteer work in this community, and I'm really grateful for all of our volunteers.
Yeah. Did you have any stories to share, Fred? You've been quiet over there.
I'm pretty quiet as a rule. But you know, in thinking about driving that bus, I met so many nice people. Just very nice people all along. And I had more than one tell me on more than one occasion they were so thankful for that bus that it got them out to where they could be with other people. Otherwise, they would just be stuck at home, maybe watching TV or something. And they were really grateful for that service that it provided.
That's a really good point, that Rocky does have a bus that will pick them up and bring them to the center for free. So they can come to our classes,
lunch
come
or
have
class,
lunch,
yeah.
come to the Be Well Clinic.
Great. All right, Samara, anything we missed? Any
No,
really good
just-
information that needs to be
Yeah,
shared?
so
Give that contact information again so people know how to get a
yeah,
hold of you.
so call Rocky at 406-447-1680, the RSVP program, and we will get you connected to a great opportunity.
Great. All right, Helena, thank you so much for joining us for the United Way Partner Spotlight and Rocky Mountain Development Council's RSVP program. We'll see you again next week.